What is up, guys? Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. And I've been watching these sort of videos for years, and I always wanted to make my own, but I never had a collection worthy of showing. It's still not complete, in fact, far from it, but I'd just like to show the YouTube community how far I've come. I have been collecting since I was 13, and I'm now 19, and it may not be the biggest collection. You may say, oh, 6 years after, why is it so small? Well, I've been collecting them on and off, and for most of those years I was in fact jobless and obviously in education. But now I'm out of education, it's sort of grown a little bit more. I've had a few more luxuries, such as these, or this case, which on its own isn't necessarily cheap, but it's a nice sturdy case to keep them all in. For many years it used to be a little cardboard box like so, which doesn't look anywhere near as good. But now I think I am ready to show where I am with the collection and where I'd like to take it in the future. So let's crack this bad boy open. And what you'll see is 2 GBA SPs, the second iteration of the Game Boy Advance, and you'll see around about 27 games. Not all of which are great, but I'd like to say a large majority are. So if we just sort of get right in with the consoles, this was the second Game Boy Advance I ever had. Oh, sorry, third, do apologise, because the first, of course, was this little, oh god, I just shut that, it was open in the first place. Right, this one, as you can see, it's pretty battered up. I found it, my mum got it for me in a charity shop when I was around about 6 maybe, and then along with Pokemon and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, those were my sort of first 2 games, and I sort of grew up with this Game Boy Advance. And then obviously the DS, and sort of this got left out in the cold. And then I came back to the Game Boy Advance because I just realised just sort of what awesome games were actually on this system. And this is just the bog standard AGS 001 model, as you can tell by this sort of murky grey looking screen. Up here, AGS, focus, let me just tap on the screen, see if it's going to focus. There we go, AGS 001. And then this special limited edition tribal edition, however even more limited edition, as it's the 101 model, which is actually really significant because this means it is a brighter screen, and this isn't focusing, there we go, which means it's got the brighter screen, which is perfect, best model to play any Game Boy Advance on, especially if you're a purist. So always look out for the focus again. 101. Right, so let's get into the games, shall we? I'm going to start up here. We'll have Super Mario Advance. And we'll have Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. And then Super Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island. Then Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, excellent RPG, really quirky. And then Rayman 3, I genuinely found this in the middle of the road. I think a car ran over it slightly. Someone ran over it, is either a bike or a car, I can't remember, it's been many years, but I actually found it in the middle of the road. Call me a tramp, I do not care, but a free game, As you can tell by the back, look, this has been through some hell. And then finally, in this section, we have Medal of Honor Infiltrator, or Underground. Yeah, that's it, Underground. Just don't even get this game. Just don't get this one. Okay. And then if we we'll just do this layout. Then if we go to the second row, we'll have Advance Wars, Advance Wars 2, Black Hole Rising, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, 4 Swords, nice little multiplayer mode added on, and then Legends of Zelda Minish Cap. Brilliant game. The only Game Boy Advance Zelda exclusive, at least. And then, of course, the one that isn't in the case, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. And if we go over to this side, we'll have Earthworm Jim. Oops! That was an accident. Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones, Golden Sun, Loved by Many, Golden Sun, The Lost Age. It's unclear that is. Yep. Dragon Ball Z, Boo's Fury. This is actually critically underrated. It only got like 68 on Metacritic, something like that. Really underrated. Actually, brilliant little RPG. Really, really good. Even if you don't like Dragon Ball Z, this is still pretty fun. And then this is the better Medal of Honor that you should get if you are after a Medal of Honor on the GBA. And that is Medal of Honor Infiltrator. Brilliant game. And then the last row, Mega Man 0, Mega Man 03, Mega Man 04, Final Fantasy Advance, Tactics Advance, so similar to Advance Wars and Fire Emblem, Sword of Mana, a remake of Final Fantasy for the Game Boy, I believe. I'm not too sure if it was called Final Fantasy. It's a remake of something. Final Fight 1, and then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival. That's a mouthful. And then, if we sort of move the camera up here, you'll see there's a little compartment. So if I flip that down, what we'll see, what we'll find, is the really cool Game Boy Micro, the last Game Boy ever released. I think this is a beautiful looking system. 12 years old this year, metal on the back, lovely little console. I am looking for a limited edition version of this, preferably the Pokemon version that came out only in Japan. It's quite expensive, to say the least. But this is a cool little console. Just really, really neat. Not necessarily the best to play games on, but really, really neat. And then what we'll find up here is another Super Mario Advance. Another copy that came with the AGS 101 Game Boy. And then an American, Japanese only I believe, WarioWare Twisted. Banned in Europe because of the mercury in the gyro thing that makes it, you tilt your Game Boy and tilt something in the game. So brilliant little game though, probably one of the best WarioWares out there. So that's my Game Boy Advance section, and then I have a little Game Boy, original Game Boy and Game Boy Color collection. So we have Legends of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, playable on the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. And if you play it on the Game Boy Color, you get Color. Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow is probably some of the first games I ever had for the Game Boy. Just absolute classics. Donkey Kong, classic game. Super Mario Land, awesome game, just a bummer you can't save, so you have to beat this thing in one sitting. Bit annoying to say the least. A spare Game Boy Advance case. And lastly will be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Back from the Sewers. Again, one of the first games I ever had for the Game Boy. And as you can see, I stored them in this little cardboard box, like I used to store all of my Game Boy games in. Works pretty well, to be honest. Just a bit ashamed at how small that collection is. Maybe in the future it will grow, because there's so many classics I haven't got. Well, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for making it to the end and listening to me pronounce titles and not really saying much else. I really appreciate any views, likes or comments left on this video, and if you feel like you want to subscribe, please do. I look forward to making more videos with a bit more, you know, me in them in the future, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. See you then.